Dear students, I am Dr. J. Prashant Ram. So we are going to see in today's laboratory, we are going to see the first experiment. The subject code is EEE71. The course name is Computer Aided Power System Analysis Laboratory. So the experiment title is Determination of ABCD parameters and performance of medium transmission line using pi method. As you are aware that in your transmission line you have two types of network. One is pi network and the other one is your T network. So before we step into the experiment, we need to know some fundamentals about this transmission line. Generally, transmission lines are categorized into can be categorized based on the type of network. In general, you have two-port network and many. But still, this pi method for this experiment, we are going to use only your two-port network circuit, and we are going to analyze the sending end voltage and sending end current with respect to your receiving end voltage and your receiving end current. You will be given a set of data comprising of your load side or the customer side, maybe in terms of your voltage or power value and so and so. But then you should be able to calculate what is the amount of sending end generation that is pushed into your transmission line. I repeat, the experiment is you have a transmission network where it is connected to some load. In that load you will be having so and so connected, maybe if you can say maybe 45 houses or 50 houses, maybe it is connected to the receiving end. Based on those data, you should be able to identify the amount of losses that incur in a system, and you should be able to estimate what is the sending end voltage and sending end current. So based on your receiving end, you are going to estimate your sending end voltage and sending end current, for which you need to have certain data, and those data are going to be A, B, C and D. Based on these four data, in between data, you are going to identify what is the sending end voltage and what is the sending end. This is the experiment in general. So you can be it is categorized into two network. You have pi circuit and T circuit. In generally, the pi circuit will have the admittances connected either end and your impedance connected in the middle. I will show you in the next part of the experiment. So you are going to identify, for a transmission line, you are going to estimate ABCD parameters. From ABCD parameters, we are going to evolve the sending end voltage and receiving and sending end current based on the receiving end data. First you will calculate ABCD, and at the second you are going to identify VS and IS, sending end voltage and sending end current. So based on the sending end and receiving end, you can calculate the efficiency, regulation and all those things. Before we start the experiment, I request all the students to shortly brush up your transmission distribution derivation of your ABCD, because we may not able to deal so much deep into this ABCD methods, because we can just have only the formulas out taken from that particular derivation. I'll just show you when and there it is required. Yes, this is what I was telling about aim of the experiment. You know that you are going to determine ABCD parameters for a pi network, for a pi type transmission line network, and you are going to identify the parameters as sending end voltage, sending end current, power factor, voltage regulation, transmission. This is the aim of the experiment. And the basic two fundamental parameters required for this experiment is you have to be strong in your fundamental formulas of your pi network. What is the formula for A, what's the formula for B, what's the formula for C, all these formulas are derived. Since we don't have time to explain derivation, we are just saying exactly the formulas what we have. Similarly, of course, once you theoretically evaluate the pi network for the given problem, you should be able to code it in a MATLAB Simulink environment. So you need to have a computer installed with MATLAB with a version of 2009 and above. That will be much more appropriate to do the experiment. Now, as I've already told you, you have two-port network. You always represent your transmission line with respect of two-port network. Why? Because you can able to identify the amount of losses that incur in a system. For example, let me say you are sending a voltage, you are sending a power value of 45 megawatt, and in the receiving end, if you are receiving the power value of 42 megawatt, which means that you are having the power loss of 3 megawatt power losses there. So for in that way, to identify the efficiency or to identify the regulation of the power system, this two-port network are very efficient, very efficient to identify the amount of losses that incur in a transmission line. So that is where this two-port transmission network has gained huge importance in power system. Now for a two-port network, you have two terminals A and C. These are going to be the sending end side. I'll take a marker so that it is easy for you people to understand. You have two terminals, what you call it as A and C. These are sending end terminals, and similarly you have two terminals B and D. These are what you call it as receiving end terminals, and the potential across the input side is what I term it as Vs, and the potential across your receiving side is what I call it as VR. And similarly, the current across the receiving side what you term it as IR, and the current across sending end side is what you call it as IS. So the two-port network is has four parameters as you see in the diagram: A, B, C, and D. And we are going to model these parameters. We have already derived some of the expressions. You knew all those things as you studied in the transmission distribution subject or in the theory classes. Maybe I'll just shortly give you the formulas of this particular two-port network. So where A is determined by your impedance and your admittance. You knew that the unit of impedance is nothing but Z is equal to R plus I into X, R plus I into X. X may be your inductance value, or maybe the reactance or something like that you can say. And Y is nothing but always always shown in your I term. So this is admittance indicated by your unit mho. Impedance is nothing but indicated by your unit ohm. So the inverse of your impedance is going to be your admittance, that is going to be Z and Y, and A is determined by the value of impedance of the line and admittance of the line divided by your 2. Similarly, your C value and B and Z. So always for a pi network, your B is equal to Z and D is equal to the parameter A. This is A. D is always equal to A, and B is equal to Z. That is your transmission line. So to have a better understanding on this parameters and all those things, I request all the students to go through the derivation, how it is being derived. And similarly, we have one more formula as in the previous slide I have shown you. In this formula, you can clearly see that your sending end voltage is represented in terms of your receiving end voltage and current. How it can be determined? Yes, Vs is nothing but your term A multiplied by your VR receiving end voltage plus V into IR. These are the two definite formulas for your power system. That is very mandatory, where Vs is represented in terms of your receiving end voltage and your receiving end current based on two parameters, that the one parameter is A, the other parameter is B. Similarly, sending end current can be determined based on your same values, but the constants get varied, C and D. So these two fundamental formulas are very mandatory for the experiment, Vs and Is. Similarly, the parameters ABCD formula is also very important. All these formulas are derived only purely based on your theoretical classes, and it is taken in your transmission distribution subject. In fact, you would have also studied in your power system analysis. Without no delay, we will get into the problem. Yes, now you have been given a problem. I read out the problem. It will be better for you people to understand. They have given a three-phase transmission line. Yes, its frequency is 50 hertz. Of course, it is three-phase in the sense it is going to be AC. So frequency they have given as 50 hertz, and it's a overhead transmission line, and they have given a length of 100 kilometer. They have given. Yes, it's very fine. And they have given 0.2 ohm per kilometer. The transmission line or the transmission passing through each line is having the resistance of 0.2 ohm per kilometer. For every kilometer is having 0.2. So for 1 kilometer, how much it will have? It will have 0.2 multiplied by 10 power 3. That is the resistance of the transmission line for a kilometer. 0.2 multiplied by 10 power 3, 1 kilometer. Then similarly, 0.5 ohm per kilometer, it is going to be your reactance X. So similar 0.5 multiplied by 10 power, that will be your reactance. Then finally, here they given admittance. Admittance how much they given? 60 into e power minus 6 J. So this is going to be a admittance. Then they have given us, if the transmission line delivers a load of 50 MVA, please be noted at 50 MVA. This is not power. This power is always given in megawatts. They have given it in VA. So what you have to do is, VA is nothing but they have given only the values of V and I. What's actually true power? True power is nothing but P is equal to V into I into cos phi. This is going to be a true power. So now the terms what you have got is, you have got V and I. So what you have to, how will you identify your power? Power is nothing but 50 MVA, 50 into 10 power 6 multiplied by your, what is the value? What is the value? What is power factor? They are given as 0.85 lagging. What is it? 0.85 determine your current is lagging behind the voltage by 0.85 by certain angle. Current is always lagging behind by voltage by certain angle. So this will give you your this will give you your actual true power across the load side. See, listen carefully here. Here they have given the transmission line delivers to the load, which means what? This power corresponds to your receiving end, PR. So PR is equal to 50 into 10 power 6 multiplied by 0.85 MVA they have given. So which means it is a this is a reactive power. You have to convert it into 0.85 multiplied by your sin phi. Now 85, this will give your power factor, will give you a real power. Similarly, they have given what is the receiving end. As you know that it is delivering a load, of course it is going to be in the receiving side. So what is the voltage it is going to be giving? V is equal to 132 kV. That is the second point to be noted. And they have told it as lagging line voltage, which means it is a line to line voltage. If you want to convert it to phase voltage, you have to convert 132 into 10 to the power of 3 multiplied by root 3 will give you your phase voltage. This is one important parameter that you have to note down. So what are these things they have given? They have given R is 0.2 per kilometer, X is 0.5 kilometer, Y is 60 e power minus 6 complex J. If the transmission delivers a load of 50 megawatt, receiving end is 50 megawatt load at 0.85 power factor, line voltage of 130 volt, obtain ABCD parameters. Efficiency of transmission line using nominal pi method. These are the given data that we have taken it out. Yes, directly we will get into the calculation of ABCD parameters. Let us consider. Yes, they have given R value, R as 0.2, as I have told you, multiplied by 10 power 3, you get 20. X multiplied by 10 power 3, you will get 50. They have given it as, they have given Y is equal to J into 6 into 10 power minus. Of course, there they have given 60, so here we have given it as 6 into 10 power minus 4. This is a mathematical term that you can easily understand. It is not a problem. Similarly, so these are all the terms that we have taken from the problem. And of course, what is Z? Z is nothing but 20 plus 50 into J. You know Y. Y is nothing but J into 6 into e to the power of 10 to the power minus 4. That also you know. So receiving end power is going to be 42.5 megawatt, as I have told you. 42.5 is going to be receiving end power. 50 MVA multiplied by your 0.85 is given. So you have to always remember, you can calculate A by using this formula, as we have discussed the formula in the previous slide. A can be calculated just a mere substitution. B is directly equal to Z. C is directly equal to Y multiplied by 1 plus Z by 4. We will get C, and D is equal to A. These are the direct substitution that you can get. The values can be noted as given in your slide, or you can calculate using your calculator. It is very, very mandatory. One important point that is to be observed in this one is, your whatever might be a transmission network, your A value should be always approximately equal to 1. This is very mandatory observation in your ABCD network or your transmission network. Your A value should always be equal to 1, or if it is greater than 1, which means your transmission network is not stable. If it is lesser than 1, if it is going 0.9 and below, it is not all stable. So you have to always ensure that A value is always equal to 1. If you calculate it and substitute it, you will get equal to 1. So that's how you find out your calculation is correct. Then you have identified your A, B, C, D values. Next, the important parameter that you have to look at is going to be your power value and voltage and current value across the receiving side. You have your receiving end power value as 42.5. megawatt. And you have one more clue, like what is the receiving end voltage you have got? Receiving end voltage you have got is 42.5 megawatt. But you have been not given with the value of your IR. How to calculate IR? IR is still a question. So how to calculate your IR? IR can be calculated like power is equal to root 3 VR IR cos phi. You know what is cos phi value? Cos phi is 0.85. Receiving end they have given it as cos 85. 0.85. So you are receiving in power. All of them, if it is this going to be 3, if it is going to be line to line. This is going to be phasor, so I have given it as VR. What is VR? VR is nothing but 42.5. IR is equal to PR divided by root 3 into, when you substitute it, you will get IR value as something like this. Whatever we have given IR value, you will get something like this 1.85 into 10 to the power 2. 1.85 into 10 to the power 2 minus 1.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 2 into I. This is the value of your current IR. So this value you will get. So once you have founded IR, you can directly go with the calculation of your VS and IS. VS is nothing but A into V phase plus B into VR phase divided by multiplied by B into IR phase. When you substitute it, you will get this the voltage value as 4.5 kilovolt as your VS, and IS you will get it as 183.668 as your IS value, as the magnitude of your IS. These are imaginary terms. So these are your polar terms. When you convert it to rectangle angular term, what you will get is you have to find out the power factor value. So you have to convert this complex value into an angular value. You will get the angle phi, that is phi corresponding to your sending end voltage. Here you will get phi corresponding, when you convert it to current, you will get phi corresponding to your IS. So now when you check the angle difference between VS and IS, you will cos of angle difference between this angle minus this angle will cos of VS minus IS angle will give you the power factor of sending end. This is how you calculate your sending end power factor. I repeat, the cos of angle difference between VS and IS. So it's going to be 58.2 minus 20.2. This is going to be your sending end power factor. As you have already identified your sending end voltage, receiving end current. So now you have identified your sending end voltage and sending end current. You have to directly substitute to the formulas so that you will arrive at efficiency, voltage regulation, sending end power factor, receiving end power factor. Now let us see how we are going to write the MATLAB code first for your this particular experiment. Yes. Now let me explain you clearly the MATLAB coding. First you have to do clear all. You have to write the command clear all, which means that it should clear all your workspace. It will clear all the preliminary execution of the program in your MATLAB. Next is CLC will clear your workspace data or your this data. The next one what you are going to see is going to be the receiving end voltage. What you have got to receive 132 into e power 3 divided by square root of whatever might be the voltage, receiving end voltage. Just change that particular voltage value. Whatever the value it is given, kV divided by square root of root 3. And what the value you have calculated, you can give it. Power value you know, you have calculated IR value in terms of complex, that you can give it here. Then R is 20, X is 50, Y is J multiplied by e power J6 into e power minus 1. This is how you have to give your J value. Now you have to declare Z. What is Z? Z is nothing but impedance. What is R? This R value taken by your 20 and this X value will be taken by your 50. So now what will be your Z? Z is going to be 20 plus 50 into Y. So Z will be assigned by 20 plus 50 multiplied by I. This will be your Z value. This is how the coding has to be done. Always your right hand side will be assigned to your left hand side. This is how the coding will be done for any platform. The right hand side will be equal to your left hand side. So we can directly calculate. You have calculated Z. So now we have to go ahead with the calculation of, you have assigned all the parameters. You have to calculate here what are the values you have to calculate. You have to calculate A, B, C and D. And you know that you have what is A, you know, 1 plus zy by 2, z multiplied by y by 2, yes, it is calculating. Z is equal to b, you know that. Similarly, c is equal to y star into multiplied of 1 plus y star z divided by 4, d is equal to a. These are the 4 formulas that you have to give it properly. These 4 formulas you can quote. Now this time you have to go ahead with calculation of after declaring all these parameters, after calculating your A, B, C and D, you have to identify what is your sending in voltage, sending in current. You know that formula, C into VR plus D into IR. This formula. What is VR? VR is nothing but the voltage that you have given here. This is VR. What is IR? IR is the value that you have calculated here. What is your VS? VS is nothing but A into VR. A also you have done it here. B also it is done here. If you are not declaring A, B, C, D before these two lines, it will throw error as like A is unknown, BR is unknown, B is unknown. Like that, MATLAB will throw error. So before you execute IS and VS, you have to ensure that whether VR is declared. Yes, where it is declared here. First line, second, third line you have declared first. Second, in third line you have declared VR. Similarly, where you have declared IR, in the fourth line you have declared IR. Where is your A, B? Yes, here you have declared A, B, C, D. Before you write the code, you have to check this. A, B, C, D, you have to check this. Similarly, you have to find your sending in power factor. Where is it? How you are finding sending in power? Cos of angle of VS. You have determined VS, you have determined IS. You have to find what is the angle of VS. How to find angle of VS? Just execute the code angle of VS. Similarly, how to find angle of this particular IS? You execute angle of IS. It will determine your angle. Now, cos of angle of VS minus angle of IS will give the sending in power factor. How will you determine sending line voltage? Sending line voltage is going to be line voltage is when you are calculating the phase voltage, it is divided by root 3. When you are calculating the line voltage, is multiplied by root 3. So square root of 3 multiplied by abs of VS. This particular VS, only real term alone we are taking. This is sending line voltage. Then sending in power, it is very easy. Sending in power 3 into line voltage, VL IL cos phi. I repeat, sending in line voltage. What is sending in power? We are not taking square root of 3. Why? Because we are considering only line voltage. Abs of VS 3 into VS. Where is VS? This VS. VS multiplied by IS multiplied by your sending in power factor. Next, what is receiving in power factor? This you know. Just the vice versa of your receiving and sending in power factor. Cos of angle of VR minus angle of IR. Receiving in power. Same this thing you follow. Efficiency. How we will calculate efficiency? Output power by input power. So receiving in power by input power multiplied by 100. Regulation. How do you find out? What is regulation? What is the amount of voltage it is regulated from sending into receiving end? Vs minus Vr divided by Vr. Sending in voltage, since it is on no load, you always consider Vs by A. Why sir it is A? Why in the sense you have a formula no here? You have a formula no? What is sending in? What is the formula here? You have a formula as Vs is equal to A into Vr plus B into IR. You have a formula here. So here we can write it during the no load time, sending in voltage Vs is equal to A into Vr. This will be there. During your IR current becomes 0, correct, right? Your current becomes 0. So how you will write it as then Vr is equal to Vs divided by A. This is going to be your sending in voltage. This is going to be your sending in voltage during no load time. IR is going to be 0 because during no load time this is going to be 0. So hence we write here as hence we write here as Vs by A, sending in voltage Vs by A. Usually people will not write A. Why? Because A value is equal to 1. Why? Because A almost equal to 1. So Vs minus Vr divided by Vr, that will give you your regulation value. So these are the basic formulas that you have to look at, and just copy paste the coding, and I will say you the explanation for this coding. I will just shift my screen over to my MATLAB coding. Yes, I have just written the direct coding. You can just go through these things. Before I start explaining the coding, I wanted you people to listen to this specific terms. Here in your MATLAB, if you open, you will get command window, you will get workspace window, you will get editor window. So in editor window alone, you just type all the comments, type all your codes, and you just save it as file, save as. You should save it as MATLAB code. I have saved it as experiment 2. It is just saved. So I am replacing it. Yes, just save the particular coding and just run the code what it is given in your MATLAB file or in the PPT. You can just select. I'm just going step by step. So that you can see what it is happening there. I am just clicking here this particular line, so the red dot appears, and I am clicking run. So now you see, you watch carefully. Now when I execute command clear all, the entire workspace gets cleared. Next, CLC. What is happening? My entire command window gets cleared. So next, what is happening? I am assigning the 132 kilovolt e power 3, 132 e power 3 divided by root 3. I am giving phase voltage V 132 e power 3 divided by root 3 is going to be by VR. So what is happening? I can see this. VR is now executed. So VR on parameter has come. Now your VR value is displayed here, 7.6 into e power 4. This is your phase voltage at your receiving end. Now similarly, what is next line you can execute? IR gets executed. Next, R value 20. When you run step by step, it is easy for you to understand. R is getting 20. Next, X is getting executed. What is Y? Y is getting executed. What is Y? 0. 6 into e power 4 I have given, minus 4 I have given. So this is taken 0 plus I into e power 6 into e power minus 4, like that it has taken. It is Z. A. One by one we have to execute. You have to write the coding whatever we have done. So we have to execute it. We can say whenever A gets executed, for example, the previous line what got executed, C got executed. So you can check here what is the value of C again. I have typed C here. I can see C is 1 minus 1.8 000 d power minus 6 plus. Similarly, I have to see what is my Z. Z also we can check. That also we can. What is Z value? 20.000 plus 50 into I. So this is how you have to check whether your given values are correct or not. As soon you do it, you will be able to understand what are the factors. Then you have to calculate. Once you have now you have estimated ABCD parameter. Now you have to include what is, find out what is IS. Yes, IS you have to give the formula C into VR plus D into IR. You have calculated IS value have displayed now. What is IS value is displayed now. Similarly, VS, sending and power factor, sending line voltage, sending end power, receiving power factor RPF, receiving end power, efficiency, and finally regulation. What are all the factors you have now executed? Just type the left hand side parameter. If you need to see what is receiving, what is the regulation of this particular thing, you can see 13.05 to 13% it has regulated. You can see REG. Similarly, if you wanted to see the efficiency, you can type here EFF. You will get what 94.2 is your efficiency. Now you can, like this way, maybe it may be any term. Your R value you can change, or your voltage value you can change, your IR you can change, anything you can change, and you can find out that ABCD parameters, and you can estimate your power value, power factor value, your line voltage, and your sending end voltage, and all those things by using a MATLAB and your typical calculation. Theoretical calculation is very, very important. Do it correctly, and you do take the properties, take the data from your question properly. That is more important while you do the calculation. So that's it for today's session. Maybe I would like to hear in the offline if you have any queries. Thank you one and all. We will see it in the second experiment, determination of ABCD parameters and estimation of sending and receiving and voltage for a T network. Similar one, let me explain you in the next session. Thank you very much. See you all.